What is up, and welcome to Tasmanian Takeover for NBL 26 season. I am Berto, and I'm of course joined by my co-host JD. How are you, brother?
Mate, I've missed that theme song. It's a new year, but some new visuals. But the song has stayed the same, and I'm as pumped as ever.
Oh, absolutely. It is such a banger. And again, we're still using the track by Sandrix. Thank you very much for letting us use that track. And it just absolutely sets off our podcast. And the podcast is coming to you in a slightly different way and format with a little bit of housekeeping that we need to cover off first and foremost. So we'll start off with the biggest change, and that is the fact that your boys are now 100% independent. Tasmanian Takeover, Ants Nest, and we'll talk about that in a moment, is now 100% independent. Last year, a decision, or actually early this year, a decision was made by the Basketball Fix that they were going into a new direction. Josh has actually been picked up by Fox Sports and doing stuff with them now, which is fantastic for him, and obviously means that there's a lot less time on his plate, which I can totally understand. So the work that went into keeping the team podcast going was just it was a stretch. So he's allowed us all to keep the names and all that sort of good stuff and carry on ourselves. So JD and I put our heads together and go, we're going to make this happen. And we said, yes, let's have a crack at it. And so here we are for the new season. Now, in having a crack at it, and this is like JD just lights up when we start talking about this, we are calling ourselves Tasmanian Takeover Ants Nest. That is because when the time comes, when the season kicks in, oh, look, JD, say it, man. You know you want it.
Oh, mate, we've had some amazing news. Is that that the Tasmanian Devils are going to enter the VFL a year earlier than they expected, which means there's a big hole in the market for some wacky commentary, some for the fans, by the fans podcasts to come out, and we're going to lead the charge and introduce the Devil's Den to the Tasmanian Takeover suite. I'm so excited.
So JD gets to follow his passion with AFL or the VFL in the first season. And so you'll start to see the Tasmania Takeover. We're going to start splitting out the shows a little bit. You'll have Ants Nest to cover all things JackJumpers, and you'll have Devil's Den to cover all things Tassie Devils. So keep an eye out for more news on that. Of course, we'll give updates around, where and how the podcast can be accessed. But the plan is to have this available on all the usual suspects: Spotify, YouTube Music, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts, and then any other of the aggregators that happen to pick it up. But if you are trying to access the show and you can't seem to get it on your favorite podcast app or aggregator, please hit us up, tasmaniantakeover@gmail.com, and I'll see what I can do to get it happening. Now, the other big elephant in the news. By the time you listen to this, we'll have already had one round played, all of Blitz played, preseason played, and potentially looking down the barrel of round 2. And you're probably like, gentlemen, why couldn't you get your shit together? Well, we tried. We have had tech issues. We have had issues, emergencies, like children needing to go off to the emergency ward minutes before we hit the record button. So, and obviously, we're both working professionals. We've both got families, and trying to tee up the times to do this. There are only set times and days that we can make this happen. So unfortunately, we have not been able to get to you any sooner. But we are back, and we intend on recording on the regular, along with regular updates, little video snippets if we get out to live games. We may even be doing audio podcasts with different personalities as well. And, of course, the regular video podcast with the two of our meatheads each and every week. So do stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. JD does a fantastic job of keeping that up to date. Me, I try and keep my grubby mitts off that. Social media, I've got it. Not a big fan of it, but whatever.
Media.
But yeah, exactly. All right. So JD, it's a new season, and
It
one thing we
is.
probably should cover off is the fact that we have a new look team. How good
We
is it
do.
looking?
We've come full circle, haven't we? For obviously the we have built our reputation on being a defensively minded team, and I suspect that's still going to be the case this year. But we have gone out and recruited some guys who can shoot the absolute lights out, and although there's still an element of that Jack Jumpers grit when you watch them play,
Mm.
there's also something new, and it's exciting, and it's amazing to watch. And after having a look at the blitz and having a look at two games in the first round, I am very excited for season 26.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I will even say I caught the real preseason games against the Sydney Kings where they played up north.
Mhm.
And even though we lost, you could really see elements of the team coming together. And I thought
Mhm.
that was fantastic. And then, like we had with those Sydney Kings games, we saw what we could even do when we had more or less like the C squad.
Mhm.
And what I mean by the C squad was that game, those games were made up of like we phoned a friend. We got players in from the NBL one. Richo got to join us again, which was
Yeah,
fantastic and have a great run.
he
And
top scored in that game.
he
He's
absolutely.
keep your phone on, Richo, for if we have an injury during the year, because there might be a spot.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And what I really like too in like those games, even though again we lost, it was great to see little elements already starting to show. And it was also good to see both coaches, both assistant coaches actually taking the charge and getting to see what they
Yeah,
can bring to the table, which was great. And then you really got to see it come into play with the blitzers. So, I mean, look, both blitz games, the first one against Cairns Taipans, we won 97-95 our way in overtime. I thought that was just absolutely phenomenal that a blitz game went into overtime. Like, how
yeah,
exciting.
super
When
valuable to be able
oh,
to practice that in the preseason is just
absolutely.
is just to see what well what the other team would do, but for us to practice that in a game like scenario is super valuable,
Oh,
and I hope we get to
100%.
experience it this year. That'd be cool.
Totally. It just that mindset of being able to dig deep for another quarter is unreal. We're not going to go too deep into the blitz games. Well and truly the horses bolted on that one, but it was fantastic, and we got to see certainly how our imports were going to start to click together. And particularly in that first game against Cairns, we started to see Bryce Hamilton really, really show us what's to come. Then we moved into game two against the Adelaide 36ers, 97-95 Jack Jumpers way. And again, we just got to see more of what was
Mm,
happening, but even better, we got to see how in the first Blitz game, Bryce Hamilton had a, a fantastic game. And then in game two, David Johnson absolutely lit up as well. And what was
yep.
really cool about this was we got to see both imports almost do what used to go on with Milt and JC, in that if one was off, the other was on. Now that's cool. That's fantastic if you've got one on, one off. But the question was always, what would happen if both imports lit it up? And that brings us into the round one, game one against Melbourne United. Now, I don't know about you, JD, but I saw a lot of backlash after the game because we lost. And there was a lot of, oh, we shouldn't have given up Milt and all that sort of jazz. Now, I'm not going to get into whether or not Milt wasn't happy with was on the table. We didn't offer enough, whatever. Milt is gone. He helped
Mm,
us win a championship. The the guy is a fantastic player. He's a fantastic human being, but this is his profession. And like any job, you got to go where the money and the opportunity is right. If that's United, as much as I do not like seeing him in a United uniform, just there's something
Gross,
about
isn't it?
United. I got a thing with United, whatever. Everyone's got their team, but they've just got a problem with United's mine. But great. And it was nice to see him back on a Jack Jumpers court, even if it was in the wrong strip, whatever, doing his thing. But everyone was making out like the man was walking on water that night. And what I want to point out is the fact that, okay, he might have scored 22 points. And yes, a lot of his most magic moments were in clutch at the end of each quarter. But our two imports, Bryce Hamilton, 24 points, David Johnson, 22 points. We had both imports light up. This is what Jack Jumpers fans have wanted for a long time.
Yeah,
what do you think of the game, JD?
Look, I think it's important to touch on the Milton Doyle. It hurt my heart a little bit to see he's not even wearing his number 25 this year. He's actually got a heavier number on this year. He's wearing the 35, and it was a bit sucky. I got the same feeling in the Blitz watching Jack McVeigh play for the Cairns Taipans after seeing them in round one. I'm actually quite happy if he's gone to any team, it's the Taipans, because they didn't put up much of a fight against Southeast Melbourne the other night. But I think what it is important to remember is that where supporters will see the Jack Jumpers as an extension of their family, especially Tasmania. We've been kept out of a lot of major leagues for a lot of years. So there's a certain amount of ownership and a sense of family around our sporting teams. But the players don't necessarily see it like that. The players see it as a job. And if someone came to me tomorrow and they wanted to pay me an extra $200,000 to do the same job at the mining company next door, I'm sorry, Mr. Forrest, but I am joining Gina in a mine in a flash. So yeah, I think this is just the way it's going to be. It was interesting to watch, and Melbourne are still a quality side. Shea Illy is still an absolute gun. But Milton just adds another dimension to them, and that he just came alive at the end of each quarter. But from a Jack Jumpers point of view, like you said, we got to see a hint of what we are going to be looking like, and three imports that just offer so much to the team. And to have, when was the last time two of our imports scored more than 20 points in a game? It was I can't remember it happening. It may have happened once or twice last year between Milton and our mate Teapot. But I'm wrapped with how we're looking, and even how we looked in that Melbourne game. It could have gone either way, but there were signs there to suggest that we are going to be very, very exciting this year. It was also good to see the Fresh Prince, Ben Eyre, get a bit lippy in that game. He was he loves a bit of argy-bargy, the Fresh Prince of Ben Eyre. And I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more of that. I reckon he could become a crowd favourite really quickly.
Oh, absolutely. I love when you get Ben Eyre and the Doctor on their Drimmick. The two of them, you can just tell they're shit stirrers. I love it. Love it. Love it. Look, what I got to say about that game, all right, we did go down to United. United 88, Jack Jumpers 84. But, man, was that an exciting game. And for a round one game, it had finals vibes. And I know you hear that all the time, but it actually felt like there was something on the line here, not just the start of the season. Like there was something on the line here. So fantastic game. Something of note, Roffy even called it out, and I think it was mentioned on the commentating as well. This was the longest minutes Magne has played in a Jackie's uniform. So that's pretty awesome.
Wow, is that right? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So, look, and I thought Mags is a beast. And I think he's more of a beast now with that hairdo he's rocking. I'm surprised you're not frothing all over it there, JD. But
To be honest, I'm not a fan of a man bun. I don't think there's any excuse for a man to have a bun. But he looks like the world's tallest barista, and I don't know if I'm here for it, Mags. I gotta say,
if he's not dunking, if he's not dunking balls, he's dunking donuts.
he's dunking tea bags. That's right.
Oh God. There you go, folks. That's what you're in for this season. Even worse, dad jokes. It's getting bad.
Only the best insights from the ant's nest.
Oh Christ! All right, then on the Saturday night we flew over to Perth, played the Wildcats in RAC Arena, and gave them a bit of a run for their money and took a win, 75-72, Jack Jumpers way. Always nice to get a road win. Always nice to get a win at RAC. And what a great game. What can I say? Look, I don't think it was as an explosive game as the United game, but certainly once we sort of found our momentum, we were able to really just keep it up and we were consistent. Bryce Hamilton, again, monster game, 26 points. 26 points. I mean, this is nuts. DJ pulled off 12, which was fantastic. And then just solid by everyone else. Mags, 10 points. And we had Jook, he turned around with 8. Bannon, 9. Bannon was a workhorse, particularly from about the third quarter. It was almost like he went out the back, hit the pickle juice or whatever it is they get into, and he was just here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, fantastic. It was also the first minutes for Kobe Williamson, which I've been really keen to see what that great wall mountain can do. Absolutely love the fact the man just looks like a brick wall on the court.
Yep.
Obviously, he's not quite game ready yet, having come off a foot injury, and that's going to take a bit of time. But it was nice. What do you get? Just shy of 5 minutes play time, which was pretty good. So yeah. What do you think of that one there, JD?
I was lucky enough to go to this one. It was I love it when the Jackies come over to RAC Arena. It was a different vibe, though. I've got to tell you, there was an element of uncertainty in the venue. I think the Wildcats, a bit like the JackJumpers, have a very, very different roster to the JackJumpers, because I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but the entire Perth Wildcats team now plays for Adelaide.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it was interesting. Joe Luala-Chul got a big cheer. I've got a pretty long memory of him playing for United, so I was not on Big Joe's side particularly, but great game. And you were right, this was a very different game to the Melbourne United game. This was very, very physical. At points, the boys were playing with 2, even 3 players on them during that fourth quarter. It was a real test of how physical we can get. And in the end, we found a way to break through it. The boys, and honestly, we're going to have to do something about Bryce Hamilton and David Johnson's hair. It is too similar. I was yelling out, "Go DJ, go DJ," for most of the Perth Wildcats game, only to find out he only got the 12 points, and it was actually Bryce Hamilton who was tearing it up.
Look, to be fair, you weren't exactly sitting courtside.
I was in the nosebleed section. I did have to do my my hyperbaric chamber training before I went to the game to get acclimatized to the thin air there in the back row of RAC Arena. unfortunately, we're not on the Jack Jumpers radar for them to give me courtside seats yet. But maybe after this season, Berto, maybe they'll reach out after this season.
Jack Jumpers Media, if you'd like to talk to us, please reach out. More than happy to. JD might not be local, but I certainly am. So, yeah, more than happy to come and have a chat. Maybe have a cup of coffee and chin wag. But, yeah,
Speaking
great
of having
game.
a chat, I was lucky enough to, after the game, we waited for all the Wildcats fans to wander out, and we went down to the it's not quite courtside at RAC Arena. They do have a thin chain link fence and a security guard blocking you from getting too close to the players. But I was lucky enough for Big Mags to come over and say hello, and I shook his hand. I said, "How good was that, Mags?" He goes, "Mate, we love winning here. We love winning in the jungle." And I think we should get used to it now that we've got potentially the best Bryce ever to play at RAC Arena in Bryce Hamilton. I can't think of a better one.
I'm actually looking forward to Bryce versus Bryce.
Oh, the Bryce off.
Bryce off.
The Bryce Bowl.
It's going to be interesting. And I really think that all three of our imports, I think, are really locking in well. We haven't talked too much about Tiger, but watching some of his playmaking, I think he's doing a fantastic job. And once he really does find his feet, I think it's going to be deadly. I really do think it's going to be deadly. I think the starting five that they ran with Mags, Bannon, and the three imports was fantastic. And then being able to have coming off the bench the likes of Juk, Drimmick, Air, it just, I can really see some potential. And then off the bench too, we're bringing out Marshall, who's having fantastic minutes.
Isn't he great? What a pickup.
One thing I will say, and this was something we heard, that they wanted to go for a more youthful lineup to bring in a bit more speed and a bit more, I guess, agility and whatever comes with having a younger lineup. And I think we've absolutely nailed it. And I think if they continue to lock in with one another the way we can see it already, it's going to be phenomenal. Okay, it's quite easy to call out at the moment. Rebounding is a bit of an issue. Roth's already said it. They've got to go after the O boards. But I'm not mad at it at the moment, because why bust your ass and potentially injure yourself in round one? I
think once Big Beefy Williamson gets a few more minutes, I think that'll start to even out. Him and Mags will start to click. I mean, we've got Beefy Williams. I'm calling him Beefy because his first name's Kobe.
I'll pay that.
Beefy Williamson. We've got Mags, and we've got the Batman in Josh Bannon. And I think eventually they'll pull their fingers out, and that stat will start to turn around very quickly, because they're still learning each other, right? We're two games in.
And don't forget, you're missing someone there. We also have under the wings, under the learning tree of Mags, we have the people's mullet, Archie.
People's mullet, that's right.
Mate, I'm looking. I've got a feeling he may have actually been injured, or
he was
just recovering a bit. Yeah. So, which is a shame, because I would have liked to have seen him have a little run too. But, just to give Mags a bit of a breather, and also just to continue, developing, getting a little bit, getting more game ready. But yeah, excellent game. Glad to take a win. Always nice to take a win on the road. And we remain on the road for round two. We've got one single game in round two against the Illawarra Hawks. Now, this is probably the part where I'm going to be very, very nice here. And firstly, use this as an opportunity to give a shout out to Sammy at the Hawks Hangout, who has kindly allowed us to pinch the platform that we are using to record this podcast. So, Sammy, thank you very much, sir, for accommodating us and for also working with me so that we can get all our bits and bobs set up and all that good stuff. And now that I've given my dues, it's time to say, I hope we come and kick your ass. We are playing the Hawks on September 27th at Wynn Entertainment Centre. This could be interesting. Going up against the reigning champs, I think the Hawks are a very solid team, and I don't think there's been too many changes in their lineup. JT as their coach, he's just, well, look, no secret, I respect the hell out of what that man has done, taken the team the way he has, and, basically bringing them from, being bottom dwellers at the bottom of the ladder to, bringing them to be champions. I mean, that's no small feat, but I really think we could have them. I really do. It's going to be hard, I think, to play in the snake pit amongst all the Hawks fans. I've been there. I was there during the final game when they won the championship, and I'll tell you what, that place goes off.
Really?
So I think it could be dangerous to get in there. It's a shame I'm not up on the mainland to go and check this game out because it would have been fun. But yeah, I'm feeling confident, JD. I really am. How are you feeling about this one? What do you reckon?
Oh, look, even though we're a drastically different side this year, from what we've seen so far, we still have that anywhere, anytime mentality that you get in a Scott Roth led Jack Jumpers team. We've still got the grit, we've still got the hustle. Bring it on. I know that I think the Illawarra Hawks they've switched around their imports a little bit. I don't think I'm struggling to remember the names of their imports last year, but I don't think they came back in the end. But you've still got Will Hickey. You've still got a lot of their core local contingent. You've still got Sam Froling.
Well, no, they don't.
Remember, he's still injured, isn't he?
But right. I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure the Hangout boys will clear this up for me, but I'm pretty sure his brother Harry's coming
back,
in as injury replacement, and that's magic because Big Harry, after taking that king hit and having all that issues with getting his head sorted out and whatever else, to see him not only back on a court, but to see him back with a championship team, that is
former
fantastic.
Hobart Charger Harry Froling.
He has played for the Hobart Chargers, yes, sir. Yep. So I have a bit of a sweet spot for Big Harry, and used to love what the big man could do. He certainly was great under the rim, as much as he could also shoot the ball from a bit of a distance, which was very nice. So it'll be a great game to watch, just to be able to see that happen. Big Harry getting on the court. There'll be a moment there where I'll be like, oh, this is pretty cool. All right, now we've got to go back to work.
For sure. No,
all right.
Looking forward to seeing how we shape up against the reigning premiers.
All right, head on the block. Who you got? Hawks or us?
Jackies will get up.
Yeah, I've got
full confidence. From what I've seen, we're only going to get better from where we're at. We've lost one. We lost one game to Milton Doyle, and we've won one over at RAC. We love to travel. Put this in the book. This is a Jackies win.
Sounds confident. Loving it. All right. Well, we're hopefully, when we get to episode 2, we're hoping to do a crossover episode with the Hawks Hangout boys, if we can make it happen. If you're watching this and we have made it happen, fantastic. If not, don't hold it against us. We'll try our best, but these things are sent to try, as it seems to be. All right. Well, we've had a great run with the game so far. 1 on, 1 off, and 1 to come for round 2. Look, we've got then we start to look at round 3, and we've got the Brisbane Bullets and we've got the Adelaide 36ers. Looks like we remain on the road for a bit, so we'll see how we go. We'll talk more about those games in the future podcast, but hopefully we can really show that as a Road Warrior team we can continue on. Yeah, we've done all right on the road before, but this is a bit of a stretch, to be honest with you. I'm a little concerned, but we'll see how we go. And I'm a little bit concerned because by the time we get back home again, it's the Sydney Kings. October
Oh,
October 15th against the
big
Sydney
game.
Kings at my estate, and I will be there. And look, I love those games because it's no secret that being an ex-Sydney sider, I've got a bit of purple that still runs through my veins, and I always make sure I get to any of the Jackies Kings games so that it doesn't matter who wins, I win because I'm selfish like that. But
It's going to be a big one. Delhi and KD
and
together. That's going to be
And that's what
very interesting.
I'm worried about. I'm really worried that after being on the road for as long as we have, to have our first home game to be up against the Kings with that lineup is going to be a bit of a rough trot. I hope it's not a steamroll, and I hope it doesn't sort of set us into a we've lost twice at home type situation. We don't want that, but we've got a few weeks to go from there, and I'm sure Roffy will have them well and truly prepared. But as I say, being a new lineup, it is hard to tell what kind of road warriors we're going to be or not. So fingers crossed. All right. Well, we probably should have a bit of a look at what's going on around the nest. And the High Performance Centre is well and truly underway. Not living too far from Kingsborough Sports. It's great every so often, particularly when I drop my son off at school. If you know, you can work out which school he goes to then. I get to have a bit of a sticky beak and see where they're at, and they've laid some concrete, which is always nice. Good foundations is always a solid way to go. Be interested
Do
to
we know
drive
if
past.
it's do we know if it's Duggan's concrete?
Oh, mate,
Specifically,
I have no idea. I can't get close enough to see. Like, I drive past, I'm trying not to look like the random stalker who's just like slowing down and causing traffic jams. What I know, mate, there's a lot of trucks there. There's a lot of stuff going on that time of the morning, and it's going to be interesting to swing via this week to see how it's gone, because we've had a bit of a few downpours and whatever else, and that always can be a bit of an issue when it comes to building, but we'll see how that goes. But it is nice to see that it is well and truly underway. So hopefully, it's not too long into this season, but we start to see some walls go up and some roofs and some stuff like that. So yeah, member packs. When we were planning to talk about this podcast, they were en route, but I would say in most cases, people should have received their member packs already. Thoughts? My thought is simple. Scarf looks pretty wicked. Like it a lot. The additional bonus, the sticker, the bumper sticker is unreal. I looked at that and went, that is a gorgeous sticker. Yep. The additional add-ons, I always get the hat. I was disappointed last year they didn't have hats. They had the beanies. I don't do beanies, even though I'm, down here in Tassie. My head doesn't get cold enough.
You look too much like one of Santa's gnomes in a beanie. Is that what it is?
More or less, mate. Yeah, no, this big head just does not like the heat. But this year we got the hats back. We also had the option for a beanie. There was also a lanyard. The lanyard is wicked. Keep that up. Jackie's team, that's great. I will continue to buy that until the cows come home. Didn't bother with the beanie, so if anyone got it, it'd be great to hear your thoughts on there. The hat, I will be honest, I was disappointed. And I was disappointed because you can see it there. It just looked like this one. This is 2 seasons ago, and it looks just like this. All that's changed is what's on the back of it. Now, if that's how it's going to be each year, it's going to be the same hat updated. That's going to suck. I love the best hat was the little green guy here, I thought. And then we went with the one behind, and then it would have been nice that we kept changing up the hat. But if all we're doing is going to change up the year on the back, yeah, okay, but that's a bit phoned in. So I was a little disappointed in that. I'll still wear it to the games. I'll still do what I do each year, wear it, and then it gets added to the locker room behind me. But yeah, that was a little bit disappointed. But the lanyard, absolute fire.
I got to say, I sat behind some some fellow Tasmanians. It's amazing. 13,000 people at RAC Arena. And we got sat directly behind the only other Tasmanian supporters in the place. And one of the lovely lady I was talking to, she was wearing one of the members' scarves, and that is fantastic. The quality of it was just outstanding. I'd never seen anything like it. I love the red that they've added to it this year. It looked really, really good.
It's interesting how they've gone about adding the red. The fact that they've kind of been slowly introducing it for a little while now. Like when you think about it, the red that we introduced with the Christmas outfits, and it's kind of now like I'm not mad on the red. I think it's kind of cool. I think it actually works. I'm loving the incorporation where we've got the red, the black, the yellow, and the green seem to be our colors, and I believe that aligns to the state colors as well. So that's even
right.
better.
I would say on this year's jerseys, though, and we haven't talked about this year's jerseys yet, but it does look a little bit like one of the Whopper boxes at Hungry Jack's up the side of at the side of their jerseys.
You are a shocker.
I'm not sure how much of a fan I am of the jerseys this year.
Yeah, that's a valid point. I felt a bit underwhelmed by them, and like JD and I have talked about it offline and kind of went, "Oh, what do you think?" And whereas last year's jersey, I was like, my trigger finger couldn't click any faster to order it. With the silhouette, Jack's head.
Yeah,
it was absolute fire. Now I don't expect them to have the jerseys being mint every year, but I don't know. This year just felt a little underwhelming. And look, I'm not mad on the color scheme at all. I'm not mad on the color stripes underneath the arms there. Great.
Hungry Jack's logo. Yeah.
Yeah, your Hungry Jack's logo. But I just felt like this is a bit too plain. And then I started to wonder if it's because the NBL have changed up their quality of the make of the jerseys, and that different GSMs and different knitting and all that. I don't know. I'm no seamstress by any stress of the imagination. Wondered if that was the case, but then you go and look at the Cairns Taipans and see how good it looks with almost like the snake scales over it. And I kind of went, well, at a bare minimum, couldn't we have incorporated the ant pinstripe again? Or something.
The Wildcats jersey last night looked pretty sharp as well. They've got like claw marks all the way through theirs, which look pretty good. I will say though, I probably won't be buying a jersey this year, which is lucky because I bought 4 jerseys last year. I bought a Milton Doyle jersey. I bought a Jordan Crawford jersey. I bought a Jack McVeigh jersey, and I bought a jersey with my name on it. That's the one I'm wearing, the She Foundation one. Now, Milton left. Jordan Crawford wasn't offered another contract. Jack McVeigh now plays for the Taipans, and we got sacked by the basketball fix. So this year's roster should be pretty safe because I won't be buying one this year. So
yeah, you're
no jersey curse.
Buy
no jersey curse this year.
Buy a bloody coach's shirt or something.
I think I will.
All right, in other news, well and truly too late to the post now, but we might as well talk about it because I think it's absolutely fantastic. The WNBL license has gone to the Tasmanian team. We don't know what they're going to be called yet. I know, JD, you want to call them what?
The JackJumpers?
Yeah, that sucks. But anyway.
Jack and Jill Jumper went up the hill.
Oh, shut up. I hope, look, I don't care what we end up calling them. I just think it's absolutely fantastic that we have a WNBL license for next season. I think that it is so critical that we have a pathway for women just like we do for men. The talent in the Tawns and also in the women's charges is phenomenal, and to have somewhere that they can grow and potentially end up at instead of having to head across to the mainland is fantastic. And how good will it be to be able to go to a JackJumpers game and see a WNBL game, hopefully on the same night, like
double headers? That'd be great.
Oh, absolutely. I know when I go to a Kings game, usually when I'm up there catching a Kings versus Jackies, it's great to get there early and see the Sydney Flames play whoever they're up
Awesome.
against as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So that is fantastic. In final news, again, also late to the post, thanks to being late to getting this episode out. The new Jack Jumpers exhibition at the Tasmanian Museum Art Gallery is there. I'm actually going to be checking it out, hopefully tomorrow, being
Oh,
Monday the 22nd, so you can work out how long it takes for this to go live. With a mate of mine who's coming down from Melbourne, who I actually watched all the first finals with and all that sort of jazz. So I said to him, I said, "Oh, well, I haven't seen this yet. We might have to go across and just ogle
great.
it a bit." So that's going to be
They got
fantastic.
some pretty cool
So
stuff
yeah.
there. Hey, Clint Steindl's championship jersey.
I believe so, and a few other things. There's like 3 cases of stuff, so it's only a
Yeah.
small little thing, but it's
Oh,
just
okay.
nice that the museum's been able to put something up for our team.
Yep,
So I think that's fantastic.
for sure.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of our first episode for the season, and we've managed to get through it without any technical issues or anything like that. Of course, do make sure you follow all our socials, Tasmanian Takeover on Facebook and Instagram. Our email is tasmaniatakeover@gmail.com, and you can access our mini sites at beacons.ai/Tasmanian Takeover. And JD, you've got a bit of a shout out you want to do.
Yeah, look, as we mentioned up the top of the episode, we are looking at doing a Tasmania Devils VFL podcast. So if there are, and I know there are a lot of footy fans down in the Apple Isle, if there's anyone with a passion and wants to have a muck about once a week and do a podcast on the Tasmanian Takeover, please reach out at the email Tasmanian Takeover at gmail.com. I'd love to have a chat with you and see if we've got as much chemistry as me and Berto have. So really looking forward to that one.
Should be good, mate, and I hope you get it off the ground. I won't. Oh, I may swing in from time to time on
Yep.
Devil's Den, but the last thing you want's me trying to talk AFL. I don't think I've ever watched a game of AFL in my life. I'm more of an NRL guy. Go to Panthers. We made it to the preliminary finals, so looking forward to the Panthers being able to go for number 5, which would be fantastic. But no, I'm really looking forward to seeing Tasmanian Takeover really start to expand the sports we cover. JD's also toying with the idea of a Hurricanes one, which I just told him, but no, there is absolutely no chance I'm going to try and talk cricket. So as that progresses, great. And who knows, I might even get a bit excited and start looking at wrestling and covering the Tasmanian Championship Wrestling and maybe even the Tasmanian Fighting Championships and start covering all things in rings and cages. But we'll see. We'll see how we all go. All right. Well, it's been fantastic to finally get this done, mate. Always good. Glad to be back in the season for NBL 26. JD, march on.
March on, Berto.